Hi, I'm Judy Ricketson with Families in Global Transition, and I'm here with Jo Parfitt, a writer who has lived abroad for 26 years in 6 locations. She's made a career out of doing what she loves and has now written 30 books, helped over 100 authors get into print, and published 83 books through her publishing company, Summertime Publishing. A poet, journalist, magazine editor, and writing teacher and mentor, she specializes in writing about the world of the globally mobile. And this year she is presenting or facilitating a writers' forum at the Families in Global Transition conference. This is part of what Jo likes to do. Her personal motto is sharing what I know to help others grow. And this is one way that she's going to do that. Jo, can you tell us a little bit about what's going to happen at the Writers' Forum?
Yeah, sure. I've actually wanted to do something like this for a long time. And last year, I was invited to run the first Writers' Forum, but unfortunately I wasn't able to make the conference. So instead, the first official one really was last year when Apple Gidley interviewed Pico Iyer, which I know was extremely popular. People absolutely loved it. So interviewing the writer Pico Iyer, and there were questions and things like that. But this year, I was thrilled to bits to be offered 4 whole hours. 4 whole hours to fill. Some people might fill them with horror, but for me, I just rub my hands together with glee and think, oh, hooray, 4 whole hours. So anybody who comes to the conference can join this forum absolutely free. There's no extra cost, no hoops to jump through, no exam to do. It's just from 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock on the afternoon directly prior to the opening ceremonies. So it fits in absolutely perfectly. And as everybody's going to arrive the day before, because the networking's such fun at the conference, so everybody will be there anyway, it will be a lovely, lovely way to start the conference. Okay, I'm biased. I love everything to do with writing, and I love teaching writing. I've also attended a lot of writing conferences, and believe me, this afternoon is worth hundreds. It's really very, very valuable because I've been running workshops all over the world and charging decent money for them. So for this, Ava Herbert, who has also been attending the conference a few times, she's been twice. She is from Transylvania. She's a Romanian, Hungarian, German, Transylvanian. She's a multicultural, she is a multilinguist, and she's not just a reasonable multilinguist, she's a simultaneous interpreter multilinguist. She's also grown up in a culture where the arts were above all. I think they even fined you if you didn't go to the opera. It was something like that anyway. So she's grown up in this community where words are really valuable, and she's become the most fantastic writer because she's influenced by all these cultural influences from her own family, from her upbringing, from living under Ceausescu, and all sorts of things. So she's become a fantastic writer. She's hugely talented. Words really are her how she makes her money, from using words in one way or another. She writes a blog, she has written lots of articles, she writes PR, and as a translator, you have to be able to write as well. And Ava is a very, very good friend of mine, and I have watched her as a writer for getting on for 10 years, as she and I were both living in The Hague, and she was in the writers' circle that I was running there, so I got to know her very, very well, and we always admired what she did. She has a natural understanding of language, of poetry, prose, fiction, and all the different genres of business writing, because she's had to do some. And I mean, I don't know that she was ever taught to do this. It's just in her blood. So Ava's a good friend of mine. We speak the same language, the language of words. We both are very passionate about helping others to share the joy we feel in writing. But this isn't a forum just for writers. We're aware of that. Not everybody wants to write a book, a poem, a blog, or even a journal, but everybody has a story. And increasingly these days we see workshops not to do with writing at all, but on finding your story and on expressing your story. If you want to get a job, you need to know what your story is and you need to be able to express it. When you meet somebody for the first time, chances are when you're an expat, they'll say, where'd you come from? Where were you born? How many children have you got? And which school do they go to? But would it be better if we had a different story inside us that defined who we are, that was about, I don't know, saying goodbye to 15 cats by the time you were 6 or something? There'll be another story that will help to define you, that will help people to know the real you, not the one with the facts, not the one that says she's got 2 children and she lives in a square house, but the other facts, the facts that really matter about who you really are. So the conference is the forum is 4 hours. We're going to start off talking about story, and how we can find our stories, how to express those stories and why they matter. And then we're going to move on to having some breakout sessions. And the breakout sessions will be run by people who understand writing and have written, and some of them have been published, some of them are bloggers. And I'm looking for some people who will lead these breakout groups. It's not going to be difficult. They're just going to be facilitating really and keeping the stopwatch, because Ava and I will tell people what they need to do. But we're going to get everybody to do some spontaneous writing on emotional subjects. They're not going to have to share it afterwards, but we're going to teach them a little bit how to do that. And they're going to write about things like goodbyes or relationships or culture shock, and they can pick the one that they think will be the least threatening, and they're going to sit in groups and they're going to have a go at writing something that will help to express their story. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to have, so within these breakout groups, which was a real opportunity for people to talk to each other and to have a go and to get some feedback in an intimate environment. And then we're going to have a panel of people who are writing overseas. We're going to have a blogger. We're going to have somebody who's written a how-to book, somebody who's written a memoir. We're going to have somebody who writes for magazines. We've got a magazine editor. We've got me, who's a publisher. And the audience, it's up to the audience. They can ask any questions they like, anything to do with anything any of us knows. And because I am a publisher and I've been published, I've written 30 books. Because of that, and I know about self-publishing, and I know about mainstream publishing, I know about all these things. I'm a journalist. I've been an international journalist. I've sold articles all over the world. I've edited magazines. They can ask me about that. They can ask me about getting going as a poet, as a short story writer, because I have done or tried everything. But it's not just about asking me questions. There are other people there, just like them. People who are delegates at the conference who either write a blog or have written a book or write a few articles for some local newsletters. They are people just like them. And the idea is that we will empower and inspire the audience to go away and think, maybe I could have a go at doing that too.
Well, that sounds as though it's going to be a fabulous session. A wonderful opportunity for people who are coming to the conference, and I'm sure it will be very popular. Thank you so much for telling us about it, Jo, and we look forward to seeing you on March 21st.
Yes, next month. I look forward to it very much, Judy.
Take care.
Thank you.